Well, welcome everyone to a Down Under Trading and Hydranet AMA. Thanks Joe and Phil for joining us and accepting the AMA. So I'll just start with no worries. I'll just start with explaining a little bit about who I am and Down Under Trading for those that are new and don't know about us. So I'm Borgie. I'm the founder of Down Under Trading. It all started with Simon. He actually pushed me to start this channel to serve as an education channel for people that are new to crypto or been around in crypto for quite some time, and also stretches out into general investing in stocks and real estate as well. It's about showing how to trade without emotions and using technical analysis and monitoring the economic cycles. And yeah, we have our general public area of the server, and then we also do have a premium section as well. And we try to hold like weekly voice calls in the public sector, and within the premium. Just going over strategies, different tools that you can use to carry out your technical analysis, and things like that. So I might hand it over to you, Joe, just to give a little bit of, or Phil, give you a platform to sort of say who you are and where you're from and a little bit about Hydranet.
Sure. Should I start? Phil, do you want
sure.
to start? Okay. Yeah. Hey, everyone. And thanks again for having us. I'm Joe from Hydranet. I'm actually from Germany, so it's getting late on my side, but it's not too late yet. And hopefully I don't fall asleep, but I don't think so. And yeah, basically I do a lot of like communications in Hydranet and the team and the community, tracking a bit of what every dev is doing, because some devs are size of the project. And yeah, I'm basically a guy who tries to bring everything together, brings everyone together. And yeah, that's about me.
Yeah, right. I'm Phil. I'm also from Germany. I've been with Hydranet for about 2 years now, I think. Primarily, I'm an IT consultant and cloud engineer. But for Hydranet, I'm working on the on our version 1 of the product, the so-called core DEX. So I'm one of the developers. Core because it's a client that you need to download compared to the web DEX, which will run in the browser and on mobile. Happy to answer any technical questions that you guys have, and also do a quick demo of our current product, which is in the public beta on mainnet right now.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for those intros, guys. We might get straight into the questions because I have got a few that I've put together. Did you want to just start off by explaining how Hydranet has come about to be where it is right now?
So yeah, there was an old project, and basically the project was moving to the community, and then some of the community stood up and basically built a team, which also consists of me and Phil and a lot of other guys. And we've been all in the crypto game for a long time, so we knew the issues that have been there back then, but also are still there today. And so we decided to keep this going. And in the meantime, a lot of new people have joined, a few people have left, but the main goal is the same, which we will try to showcase you later, to basically bring all crypto spaces together, all chains, but in a way that is actually like scalable, that is really cheap, and not like with Bitcoin, where we've been doing some tests today, and where you need to wait like for 1 or 2 hours just to get confirmation transactions going. Because as we see the world where many people are interacting with Bitcoin, you need to have a scalable layer, which actually exists, which is in the Lightning network. But also it's not connected to like Ethereum, which is quite sad. So we tried to connect all these layers and chains, and that's basically how Hydranet got built around this vision to offer this to everyone.
Yeah, nice. And how big is the current team that's working behind the scenes at Hydranet?
So more or less, it's about 12, 13 people. Some people are like more advisors. Some people are full-time. We have now two full-time devs, which is Fede Palmer and Adinail, which we're quite proud of because we've come from quite a little team, and now we have two full-time guys, which is really nice. And a few guys like me who work part-time, and also like Phil, who try to spend a lot of time there, but we still have some real life jobs we need to fulfill. But 12 people, I'd say, plus minus. That's it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I know it can be difficult finding that balance when you have a full-time job as well. I'm in a similar situation. You feel like you always got something going on. Moving on to the next question. So essentially, Hydranet is a DEX, but you're trying to, from my understanding at least anyway, you're trying to be a little bit more than a DEX. Can you explain what would be a similar type of project that is already existing, that would be similar to Hydranet, what you guys are trying to achieve?
Yeah, sure. Well, there are actually not that many projects which are doing more or less the same we are doing. So I guess the most famous one is 4chain or ForceWeb and its applications. They're doing definitely a good job on-chain swaps, but like I said, Bitcoin can only do a few K transactions every 10 minutes, and sometimes you need to wait more than 10 minutes. Same as with Ethereum, more or less. So everything they are doing, we are trying basically to do much faster and much cheaper, and also more private in a scalable way. So 4chain is, I guess, the biggest competitor, you could say right now. There's also a project which is like in production for a few years, which is called Portal. So far they haven't released anything yet, so we don't know. But I guess if you want to break it down to projects which are similar to us, it would be 4chain and Portal. But 4chain is not using any Lightning network, is not using really scalable networks. So this is why we think, what sets it apart. But Phil, I guess, can talk about more in detail.
Yeah, so I suppose that sort of leads into our next question. You mentioned lower fees. Is there anything else that you guys are and scaling, I suppose? Is there anything else that you guys are sort of doing that's going to set you apart from other DEXs that would sort of encourage people to come and use Hydranet?
Yeah, so basically we use a completely different technology to execute swaps and to execute trades. Like a Uniswap, for example, when you do a trade there, you will just interact with a smart contract. When you use ThorChain, it will be but we basically use the thing that also powers the Lightning network, which is called atomic swaps, or more or less cross-chain atomic swaps. It's basically a technology that allows you to exchange assets in a trustless way, without trusting the other party, and without also trusting any third party. If you want, I can give you a quick explanation how atomic swaps work. I don't know how much time we have, but basically it's using hash functions to generate passwords and locking transactions with those passwords. And the protocol that we use, and it's basically the same protocol that Lightning Network also uses, the protocol makes sure that a transaction or a swap can only happen in an atomic way. So either both parties get what they wanted to get, or the trade will be reverted. And we don't do that on chain. You can do atomic swaps on chain using smart contracts and using the Bitcoin script functionality. But we are using the Lightning network, which is executing those swaps off chain. And we are using a similar technology to Lightning on EVM. Currently, we are using Connext Vector, but we will soon move to a in-house self-developed solution that works much simpler and more reliable than Vector. And we combine those technologies on Bitcoin and on any EVM chain to facilitate the trades, basically. So we still use smart contracts, we still use Bitcoin script features, but our trades happen off-chain, and we just use the blockchain to prove the funds and to secure the trades, basically.
Yeah, right. So we've spoken about DEXs. So what would be some reasons that a trader might want to use Hydranet over a centralized exchange?
Yeah, difficult question to be fair, but they are actually because I think, in my opinion, the centralized exchanges have evolved a lot and they're getting really good. But in many countries, many exchanges are still blocked and or will get blocked or about to be blocked. You just need to take a look at USA, where like a lot of exchanges are not available. Yeah, this is like one reason. But I guess the major reason is that if you trade at our DEX, you have custody of your funds all the time. So you don't need to trust some random exchange, which is sitting like maybe in a completely different jurisdiction. You can keep the full control over your assets all the time. And also you don't need to submit any personal data. Maybe some of you remember the Ledger data hack, so the hardware wallet, which is quite known, got hacked, and all the physical addresses got leaked, and people received threats and letters and stuff like this. So this is, of course, a really bad scenario, and this is what we want to avoid by not having any chance to collect data from you, and also encouraging everyone to keep self-custody. So I guess these are the 2 and 3 biggest reasons. We can't offer fiat stuff, but more or less anything else we can do it. And once everything is put together, we also hope that we can do a lot of 1,000 trades within a short time span, like CEX is doing.
So basically, we want to combine the advantages of a centralized exchange that offers superior user experience. You have an order book, you can place limit orders. It's probably easier for people to use than using MetaMask and Uniswap and all the other thousands of decentralized exchanges out there. And we still want to keep the self-custody, the anonymity, and the low fees that a centralized exchange offers. So the best of both worlds, basically.
Yeah.
And
given
I
that,
suppose I might just I was just gonna say I might just add a little bit here about self-custody. It's something that I see pops up every sort of bear market or downturn is, not your keys, not your crypto. Because once we do start seeing those downturns, we typically see an exchange go down and people lose assets and things like that. But then once we start getting into those bull markets, and everyone's winning and centralized exchanges got high volumes and doing really well, we sort of tend to forget a little bit about that self-custody and how important it actually is until we then hit the next bear market and the next centralized exchange goes down and people lose assets again.
Exactly. So with our solution, even when you do a trade, you will always remain custody of your funds. There is no thing like a trading account and a cold wallet account where you have to transfer funds in between. It's your wallet. It's using your private key. The private key never leaves your wallet, and you can exchange funds across chains without giving up the custody.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
By using the off-chain networks, we can offer really low fees, because if I send an off-chain transaction to you, I basically pay not any fees. That's why we can charge like very low trading fees and still make a revenue in comparison to, for example, like Uniswap, where an ETH swap is expensive more or less all the time.
So basically, every trade that involves Bitcoin on our platform is done using a Lightning transaction. So if you have ever used Lightning, you know that it's basically settled within seconds and there's virtually no fee. And the same goes for EVM assets. So once you moved your assets into the channel off the chain, you can transact without any gas fees, as much as you want. So if
Yeah,
you're a
that's
swing trader, for example, you can do 1,000 trades between the same asset without ever paying any gas.
that's something that I personally find a bit annoying when going over to DEXs and using things like Uniswap and whatnot, is the constant gas fees. It's like a tax on your trade every single time. So yeah, that's a very good feature, I think. We'll just move on to the next question here. So as we know, there's a number of great new products. It seems like every second day there's a new product coming to market within the crypto space. But one of the key hurdles that I see these projects sort of struggle with is gaining adoption of that product. How does Hydranet manage this difficulty in a saturated market of many new projects vying for attention and adoption?
Yeah, I mean that's a big question, right? I think it's the whole package of advantages that we offer that will drive adoption. Like we just mentioned, lower fees, better user experience, like one single wallet for all your assets, including Lightning. You don't have to use different wallets anymore. We use native assets. We don't use any wrapped Bitcoin or anything like that. So each asset you trade will be native on its chain. We offer higher security, trustlessness. So there is no KYC, there is no censorship. So the overall package, we hope, will make the difference.
And how are you guys planning to get like that? It's great that you have all these different functions and offerings, I suppose. But how do you get people out there aware of Hydranet? I suppose. What's the marketing strategy to get the name out there and bring in that adoption?
Yeah, so maybe Joe can say more about that, but from my point of view as a developer, we really want to get out the product first. We want to not do any meaningless marketing and just do stuff on paper. So yeah, we are really focused and driven to get the product out, to have it on mainnet, to have people really be able to use it before investing, for example. So anyone right now can just download it, try it out, check the progress, check the user experience, check our roadmap. We also know that we have some disadvantages, some bad user experience at some points, and we are already working on addressing those. So yeah, from a technical point of view, we really want to do something, bring it out, and hopefully use that as the biggest marketing feature. But of course, we also have other marketing campaigns and stuff in place. So,
for example, today we actually start like this. It's not too big, but yeah, we want to get into it anyway, especially for our next products we're rolling out. It's a trading competition, and also we aim to get like a really slick and easy to understand UI for our new product, and then work with a marketing agency which like includes influencers and social campaigns with all the stuff once we have the next version out of our product, so to say, and then get people just basically addicted to using our product, because it will be so much cheaper than interacting with all the other own chain stuff. So we can also beat them in bridging fees, for example, because the new off-chain network we've been developing is like a lot cheaper than Stargate, Wormhole, and all the other bridges which are currently out there. So we aim to get our technique then implemented in some of the bridge aggregators and some of the bridges, and then just be faster and cheaper than the other current implementations. And yeah, by this, slowly we need to build up the liquidity, of course, in parallel. So slowly get everything done, get everything rolling, and then yeah, have some dedicated marketing campaigns, and that's more or less the game plan.
No worries. So my next question is now, I suppose, moving away a little bit. I've seen within your server the discussions around Titans and Guardians. Can you explain the role of a Titan and Guardian and how that works?
Yeah, sure. So in our network, there won't only be the end users who will do the trades and use the wallet. There will also be other important roles to secure the network. And one of them is is a guardian. So anyone who's using the Lightning network knows that you need a thing called watchtower to keep your funds safe when you're offline, for example. So guardians basically will be a component inside the network that that contains Lightning watchtowers and vector watchtowers. So basically nodes that monitor the network and prevent any malicious actors from, for example, trying to cheat on the user's channel. And for that work, they will participate in the trading fees of the network. So this is a completely trustless way, and anyone will be able to set up those guardians, for example. So you can earn fees from the network by securing it.
Okay.
But if you don't want to trust another guardian, you can set up your own guardian, for example.
And are you able to stake or delegate the HDN token to these people, or is there going to be a staking or delegating function within Hydranet?
Right now, that's not live or going on yet, but for 2025, so like a lot in the future, we actually think about of something like delegation mechanism to, like what Phil said, to protect the network, to have more HDN like as a protection layer around any corruption mechanisms. So that's what we plan for this. But we are a token on the Arbitrum chain, so we don't need any staking security right now. But once we have the DEX out, yeah, we want to build an extra layer of security. That's where HDN will be really needed.
Yeah. Is there any plans to have a mobile-friendly applications or like mobile web apps?
Yes, definitely. So that's what we've been doing actually the past months. And I guess I can also share my screen quickly. You can see my screen. So that's what the wallet currently is. It's live already, like for the public. It's in testnet. And yeah, you can't see too much right now because we've changed a lot in the back end. But here you can, for example, open a Bitcoin channel. You can, of course, send and receive. You send Ethereum. You see, we didn't add too many tokens yet because we want to keep it simple, to keep developing fast and shipping quickly. But that's more or less the pro version. There will also be a simple version which will have less options but make it even easier to interact with everything. And yeah, once we've figured out this, like adding Lithium to the public version, etc., will happen in the next weeks. We will move on to the DEX part, which will then also be in the web within the same application, and basically what we're doing right now, but just available on mobile phone, like for example here on a URL. And yeah, so definitely that's like our next big product we want to roll out later this year, and it's a web wallet, and also including a part where you can just swap your tokens from Bitcoin to ETH, from ETH to Arbitrum, from USDC Optimism to, for example, Solana. and all have one wallet, and everything is like more or less optimized for cheap interaction. We will also include a pay feature where you can pay and really easily create payment invoice because it's then you will see the URL. But yeah, that's already visible to the public. Just a sneak peek though.
Yeah, nice. Are you able to explain lithium and what it is, what it means?
Sure. So maybe some of you know the Lightning Network, which is basically an off-chain network for Bitcoin. It's a trustless and basically a 2 out of 2 multisig with a lot of mechanisms to make sure you can't cheat. And once you're off-chain, you don't need to wait for blockchain confirmations. You don't need to spend blockchain fees. You can do a lot of transactions, like literally 1,000, 10,000 of transactions between you and your friend, and you pay like 0.00001 cent. So more or less really nothing. And that's what we have been working on to make it also available for Ethereum, for Arbitrum, and for Polygon and all the other EVM chains, but later then also get non-EVM chains added, for example, Solana. Solana is quite right now a big player in the DeFi system with all the meme tokens that are going on there, but we want to capture this chain, of course, too. And the first version is already live and more or less working. We have some transaction UI stuff, but the tech itself is working there. And yeah, it's live for our closed beta testers, and that's what we've also been working in the past months. And basically, is like the Lightning Network for every chain which is not Bitcoin, basically. Yeah, that's Lithium.
Yeah, nice. So that my next question is something I've seen a few DEXs and even very new centralized exchanges come to the market over the past couple of years, and the one thing that I find is the biggest struggle for them is liquidity and the spreads that having poor spreads. What's Hydranet going to be doing to manage this for their trading pairs?
Yeah, so from a technical point of view, we have two kinds of liquidity that we have to manage and attract. So there's the channel liquidity. This will be provided by so-called hubs or titans in our network, and those basically run Lightning and Lithium routing nodes, and they have to provide capacity for routing those payments. So that will be one option for liquidity providers to earn fees from our network. They don't have to provide this liquidity to any order book or to any liquidity pool. They just have to provide liquidity for routing payments. So it's a very low risk thing to do, but you will earn fees nevertheless from it. The second type of liquidity that we have to attract and provide is the real order book liquidity. Since we don't use any liquidity pools, since our order book is like a real order book, like a centralized exchange, this liquidity will basically come from the users, from hopefully from big LPs as well, and it works just like providing liquidity on any exchange that you know. So you have basically an API and a bot interface where users will be able to run trading bots and provide liquidity and be market makers. And of course, it's hard to attract those people, because why would they provide the liquidity on our exchange and not on any other exchange like Binance or so? So yeah, again, the same reasons why we think that our solution is superior to existing solutions, because we have less fees, we are more private, and we are just faster basically than providing it on any decentralized exchange. So it's easier to manage the liquidity on an order book compared to a liquidity pool, where you constantly have to adjust the range of your liquidity. On our order book, you can just place it on the go. without any smart contract or blockchain interaction.
So I suppose with the as Hydranet gains adoption, the liquidity and the spreads are going to get tighter and get better.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Mhm.
Is there any plans to extend? I know that you guys are still not early on in the development, but you're still not probably where you want to be towards an end product at the moment. But is there plans in the future to extend out to perp trading and loans, staking of various coins, things like that?
That's a question that gets asked very often. It's very difficult to implement such things on a trustless peer-to-peer trading platform. So that's currently really not in our focus. But once we have the basics done, I'm sure we will come back to that topic. But right now, yeah, we have no answer to that question basically right now from a technical point of view.
Yeah, we're also looking into some, which is not directly a loan, but some kind of liquidity providing for the channel liquidity, which then would be also yeah, some kind of lending, so to say, but it always stays in the channel or more or less in the smart contract. But except from this, like Phil said, it's not really on our focus. You're really like on track and focused to get the web DEX, like the next generation of our DEX rolling out ASAP, and then build the nice features around to have the core functionality, which is swapping between different chains using the Lightning network and the Lithium network. This is like really our main priority, and everything is more or less working towards that. So otherwise, so yeah, these topics unfortunately don't are no priority right now, but more or less some points I guess will come if they make sense to us, or if we
no,
like the deal, for
fair enough.
example.
No, that's fair enough. So you mentioned that the core DEX is, I suppose, live on mainnet in a beta stage. What's the current volumes that you guys are experiencing on the core DEX?
So this is currently like we said, a public beta. So we only have a couple of dozen users at the moment, and we just removed or set the trading limits a bit higher. There's still some stability improvements that need to be done, like a full audit of the code and so on. So we really don't have a high volume or many trades at the moment. We're just getting there.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's a very sort of raw and I suppose new.
Like the
At
thing
the
is,
moment.
at the moment the user experience is not that great. So for example, once you download the core DEX, you need to wait a certain amount of time before the off-chain states are synced, the Lightning graph is synced, and so on. So at the moment we're talking about a few minutes. With the
Mhm.
web DEX, we're talking about like 5 seconds. So we already improved that by an order of magnitude. And there are many other things that we need to improve. The main goal of the current product is to show that the technology works and can really be used for trading. But we don't expect that this will reach really high amounts of volume and user adoption at the current stage. So this is really what we want to achieve with the web DEX, because then people will just go to the browser, open the application, and it will take a few seconds until they can start trading. Compared to the current user experience that it's much more clunky and slow basically.
That makes sense. Do you guys have any VC backings?
No, we are like completely community funded. I mean, some people of us are also working like a lot in their free times, so we are somehow managing to deliver a lot of stuff, while not having like a VC which is having 50% of the stake of the project.
Yeah. That's good. VCs can be good, and they can also be vultures as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course, there's always a good and a bad side, I guess.
that's right. Well, for me, that probably concludes all of the questions that I've got. I might just put it out to the people that are watching or listening in. If there's anyone that has any questions, they can put it up in the chat. For Phil and Joe, I did just want to go on and sort of say that for me, I've been around Hydranet now for about 5 to 6 months. And one of the things that sort of sticks out for me regarding the team is the transparency that you guys offer, particularly around the token and the payment schedule for devs for making things happen. You don't see that a lot. That level of transparency a lot with some projects. So I think that's something that you guys do really well.
So that's why there will be HDN rewards. So we're talking about a different tier of volume you can produce within the next 2 weeks, and then you will get like a certain split of HDN rewards. We have been drafting an article. We will release it shortly after this AMA. And yeah, basically what you can do right now if you want to participate is go to hydranet.ai and go to the core DEX site, download it, and fund the DEX with funds and set up your channels. And then, for example, take a look at the tutorial, because we are aware that user experience is not like completely perfect there yet. So I mean, that's why we're also building the web DEX to have it a bit more simplified and stuff like this. But nevertheless, we want to do it. We are quite thrilled. Phil has taken the next 5 days off to be like at your service and help out. Hopefully it's running smoothly today. Phil and me had 2 sessions where we did a lot of tests, opening channel, doing swaps, withdrawing from channels, adding to channels, stuff like this. It's all been working smooth. So I hope it's working smooth for you too. Yeah, we will release the exact details later this night or tomorrow morning, depends on your time zone. And yeah, that's like the next thing which is happening at the core DEX side. And yeah.
So basically the goal is to have more users try out the core DEX and give us valuable feedback on what to improve and what to improve, especially in the next iteration of our product. So yeah, anyone who wants to try it out can do. The funds are on mainnet, but if you use Arbitrum, it's really cheap. You don't have to pay much in gas. You will get an HDN airdrop just for using it, basically. And yeah, we welcome your feedback if anyone here wants to try it out. And if you like, I can give you a quick demo now.
Yeah, that'd be
of
great.
our core DEX.
That'd be great, Phil.
All right, let me share my screen. How does it look? Is it large enough? Oh, that's too large. Is it large enough? Is it readable?
Looks good.
Yeah,
Okay, nice. So this is our current wallet. You need to download it. It's an executable available for Windows and Linux at the moment. We don't have any macOS version yet. Probably there won't be one for this version of the product, but once we have the web DEX, you will not be dependent on your operating system anymore anyway. So anyone who has used a hard wallet, a downloadable wallet, will hopefully be familiar with this. So currently we have 3 chains that we support: Bitcoin, of course, Arbitrum, and Ethereum mainnet. And we have different assets on those chains. So for example, you can see here there's USDT on Arbitrum, USDC on Arbitrum, the same on mainnet, of course our own token, native Ethereum, native Bitcoin, and native Ethereum on Arbitrum. This is what we currently support. Of course, we could add any other token on those networks anytime, but yeah, as we said, this is currently a beta, so we focus on keeping it simple. So yeah, here you can see those green dots. So that means you're online. It means you're not only online on the chain it also means you're online on the off-chain network. So basically, you are able to receive any of those assets on Lightning, for example, or on the native layer 1 chain. Yeah, basically like a normal wallet, can receive and send funds on chain, but you can also open channels and deposit funds inside of channels. So why would you do that? Yeah, the channels are needed to execute the off-chain atomic swaps. So before you can do any trades, you need to deposit funds in those channels. So this slider here basically, yeah, should represent the channel. So if let's say I want to sell some HDN, I first have to move it off-chain. So this is an on-chain transaction that will deposit the HDN on a smart contract, but you still are the owner of those funds. So no one else but you can withdraw them from the contract or from the channel. The reason why we have to deposit them on the channel is to prove the funds to the other peers on the network, basically. So once that has happened, you can basically move to the DEX view of our wallet. So this should look familiar to anyone who has been using a centralized exchange. This is our order book. Yeah, you have a trading view that is also very similar to the ones on centralized exchanges. And here you can see the current buy and sell orders. You can place limit orders or market orders at the moment. We don't have stop loss and that kind of stuff yet, so it's really just very basic at the moment. But yeah, let's just do a simple market buy, for example. So we want to buy some HDN. Let's say for 5 AUSDT or almost 6 AUSDT. So once I press the buy button, my order gets submitted to the order book, and the order book will find another peer that is also using this wallet who has placed some limit orders. And the swap will be executed between those peers only. So whenever you do a trade here, you don't trade with any automated market maker or smart contract. You trade either with a bot or with another wallet user. Okay, I just read in the chat that you can't see anything. So let me stop the stream.
No, I can see it completely fine. So
Yeah?
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe let's see. Okay, I hope you can see it now. So yeah, we just did the trade. Let me do another one just for the sake of demonstration. So currently the trade takes about 5 to 10 seconds, depending on your location and some other factors. But we are also working on improving the swap times down to maybe 2 or 3 seconds. That's how long it's going to take. And all the trades, all the swaps that you see here are completely non-custodial. If one of the swaps would fail, you will simply get your assets back. That is completely happening off-chain. In this case, it's using Connext Vector and not Lightning, but we can also do a quick Bitcoin trade if you want. So here we can see we have a AUSDT balance of 13. So yeah, we're just going to buy some Bitcoin now. Basically the same as on a centralized exchange, just it's non-custodial. So any trade that we do now doesn't cost us any gas. The only thing that we pay are the trading fees, which are currently set to 0.3%. But in the future, it could be totally up to the hub provider to set those trading fees. So there can also be competition between the hub providers. If we want to place a limit order, just works just like the same. Yeah, okay, this limit order was now filled. Wait.
You have to keep in mind that if you're trading on 4chain, for example, which has been doing like also 40 billion in total trading volume, every time you're doing a simple swap, which includes Bitcoin, you basically need to wait 30, 50, 60 minutes, pay every time $5 or $10 or $50 in fees. And yeah, it's just really slow and not scalable. But with tech we are using, basically can get onboarded by Kraken or Coinbase or Binance and open a Bitcoin Lightning channel, or you open one time a Bitcoin Lightning channel from our wallet, and then you're set up for trading a lot of different times, doing arbitraging, for example, on our DEX and with a centralized exchange, because the API times and the swap settlements are so incredibly fast in comparison to other DEXs that it's indeed possible. So yeah, that's like really the magic. And if you're used to these quick transactions, to this fast settlement, I mean, they are basically instant settled. It's quite difficult for you to go back on chain. Sometimes you need to do it, but it's definitely a relief once you're back off chain.
Yeah, so basically
definitely
every
like-
swap that you see here is as secure as on ThorChain and as non-custodial as on ThorChain, even more actually, but yeah, more than, I don't know, 100 times faster or even more.
I was just going to say, I quite like the layout of the DEX that you guys have done. It seems fairly simple. It'd be good to see the stop losses and, you know, trailing stop losses, trailing taking profits and that sort of stuff come into it, which I'm sure you guys will implement it at some stage. But yeah, it looks great so far.
So if you don't want to use this kind of interface, if you just want to do a simple swap, we also have a UI for that. So here you can just enter the assets that you want to send and you want to receive, and you just enter an amount, and everything happens on the background for you. So this will not only do the place a trade for you, but it will also set up all the channel stuff that you can see here. So you don't have to think about how to open a Lightning channel here or how to withdraw from it and all that kind of stuff. You can just go to this simple swap UI, enter the amounts, press confirm, and then wait a certain amount of time, and it will execute everything for you. So that's a much simpler way to use our wallet for those who don't want to deal with the trading view, basically.
Yeah, nice. And so how long is your trading competition running for?
About 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. And that starts as of today. Does that start?
Yeah, I think in the next couple of hours we will make the announcement.
Yeah.
So you can already download it. You can already get familiar with it. You will have enough time to participate. And of course, if you have any questions, we have a great community. So you just join our Discord, and you will get a lot of help.
Yeah, awesome. I'll post up links to your Discord and stuff after we finish the call. So if anybody that's interested, you know, jump on over there, have a look around. I myself have found the Discord quite informative. The team gets back to you pretty quickly as well if you do have any questions. So, did you guys have anything else that you wanted to go over, Phil, Joe?
No, I'm perfectly fine from my side.
No worries.
Yeah,
well,
I think so too.
I think that probably draws the AMA to a close. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for jumping on and being extremely transparent and going through Hydranet and explaining to us how it works, what you guys are about, where things are heading. I hope our listeners have gotten a good understanding and insight into what you guys are all about. And yeah, wish you guys all the success for the future with the project.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having
I
us.
also wish you success with your trading channel. It's, I guess, always a good aim to get people into the whole trading stuff without the good buy high, sell low mentality. So yeah, good luck on this too.
Thanks for that. And just for the listeners, this session has been recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube in the next couple of days. So I'll be posting up the link and passing that over to Joe to put up within the Hydranet Discord as well. So yeah, if you want to watch it back, or you know people that missed out, they can be able to listen into the AMA. Yeah, and if anyone has any further questions that they want to put forward, feel free to jump on Discord and ask away. But yeah, until next time, take care, guys, and we'll talk to you later.